it's quorum. It's very obvious. It's the only one that won't have it.
If you are live coding, please use this microphone.
Speaking.
Okay. So if you're only speaking, there is a microphone in there.
Is there audio out? Oh, is that what you did?
Yes. Excuse.
Yeah, we definitely make it happen.
Let's not go crazy.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. That's a good.
Okay. I can add it right now.
Test.
I have to add a prize. Okay. Oh, that's the dongle. Yeah. The clicker. Yep. You put it back to you. Thanks. But it mentions go to the. Oh. Okay, I need to. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Oh, it's frozen. Come here. It's frozen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fine.
I'm gonna just do one more round
From the
and
foundation.
I'll get Heather and everybody else in, but
I just put a note up to everybody right now. If I guess. Oh, that's good. Believe little blue bar that could. There. In this case, I might do. I'm going to add these all to the website because there's a lot of detail, and I might just
the Ethereum Foundation is offering total amount of money. Up to.
I'm not sure it's going to be the same document. Varies post to post.
Bounties for best. We'll just go back.
Scaling solution and
If you need it,
Snark-based apps.
you need it to be unfreezed. S'il y a besoin que ce soit défreeze.
And
C'est pas bien d'accord. Par contre, sur le please mind the screen.
Oh.
Do not touch it.
Oh. Can we move this? Yeah, let's move this a little bit, and then. Okay, I think we
should be okay.
should
Nobody's
get
going to need the
going.
laptop after this. Have the clicker.
Okay.
The clicker works, everything good. Is it on?
Not yet. I'll 2 minutes. Okay. You know what? We can unfreeze it right now. Yep. You have to.
Oh. Can we have one microphone?
Yeah, fine. I don't actually need it.
I mean, you don't.
can hold it.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
live
yeah,
stream. Okay.
You have a sound?
You just do like this. Yeah.
Song?
Song.
Got any cash? Ring of fire?
Yeah. Play. Okay. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Boisson et nourriture.
Ouais.
No
Yeah.
beverage.
C'est bon.
Hello, everyone. We're about to get started. If you have drinks, get rid of them. And also no food. Thank you very much for the room. I thought I'd be the bad guy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Everybody's cool with that. So get rid of the drinks, rid of the drinks. Et bonsoir Paris. Bonsoir.
How many are from Paris? That's a lot. How many from somewhere else in France?
Bon.
How many from outside of France but in Europe?
Ooh.
How many outside of Europe?
Wow.
Who thinks they came the furthest? Hey,
Where from?
Montreal,
Oh.
Canada. I know we have Toronto in the house. You?
Who's back there? Oregon.
That's farther. We have Oregon. Anyone farther away than Oregon? Brazil.
Whoa. Maybe winner? Do we? I think Brazil wins.
Brazil wins.
Yes. Well done, Brazil. 10 points. 10 points, Brazil. Go Eurovision style. Welcome. Bienvenue. This is very exciting for us. It is the first ETH Paris, and it's the second ETH Global event of the year for 2019. We kicked off the year with ETH Denver, which was amazing, but it was at a very high altitude. And, you know, I live in the UK. I'm glad to be closer to sea level. I don't know how you feel about that, Boris.
I like sea level.
The altitude was a little bit intense in Denver. So we love continental Europe. But let's tell you who we are. Ooh. Also, Boris matched his hat to my hair for your viewing pleasure. Boris is the organizer of ETH Magicians and pretty much the head speaker at ETH Magicians with his booming voice that, you know, resonates throughout.
We've given you the entire seat, but you'll only need the edge.
And he is also the co-founder of vision.
Great, awesome. And this is Simona Pop, who is the co-founder and CMO at Bounties Network.
That is correct.
And for ETH Magicians, which is a group that helps work on the technical Ethereum ecosystem, she helps steward the education ring.
That is right.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Boris. And thank you all. So glad to have you here to witness our entertaining duo. So, ETH Paris, we're going to give you some stats because we love stats and math. And so we have over 300 attendees this year. And for the first one, it's pretty damn good.
Brazil.
Brazil, yes.
I mean, in Montreal too, but.
Right. Let's focus on Brazil. Let's go. He's in the front row as well. 26% of attendees are students this year, which is, again, awesome because, we love students. Get started in the ecosystem as early as possible is always a good idea. Don't do like Boris and I. 42% are brand new to Ethereum, which is my favorite stat in here. Ooh. Everyone, you are amazing. The other percent, like the other 50 to 8 as well, but the 42 brand new to Ethereum, it's very important for us to broaden the access of new people, new skill sets, new nationalities, and make our ecosystem incredibly inclusive and incredibly varied so that we can grow it, so that we can have all of these different perspectives and building a lot of very cool stuff. And then we have the 22 sponsors that are helping out, ensuring that we have the awesome venue, the awesome food, everything that we need to make sure that this is a very successful first ETH Paris.
So the concept of an event like this is to focus on learning. You've taken this time, thank you, you've dedicated this time to decide to build something that you want and learn new skills. We value showing over telling. This is a no PowerPoint zone as far as the participants go. We want you to focus on digging into code and trying to build something. Errors on screen from the browser is to be celebrated, and then bugs filed in GitHub so we can get them fixed. We are here to learn, mentor, and grow. So we want this to be the first step. Get connected to resources, get connected to mentors, get connected to each other, and go from there and keep going. This is a hackathon, not a conference. Obviously, a lot of this will be meeting people from as far away as Oregon and Brazil. This is not going to get old. We'll keep bringing this up.
But also continental Europe and all the other places.
Antarctica. It's not a conference, so you're not here as an attendee. You're here as a participant, and that's what that means. This is for the ecosystem. When we say the ecosystem, we're going through the growing of something of Web3. I was around, as he strokes his long gray beard, when we were going from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0, before the Amazon cloud. And what we're trying to do now is what's next past the Amazon cloud. Part of that is global networks like Ethereum, a large stack of other technologies that many of our sponsors will tell you about tonight as well. So, and if you get started early, you can be part of this very long wave that we're going to be kicking off. Yay! Now, we've heard that sometimes in North American English we say ETH.
Yes.
Here it's in France, ETH? No?
Is this true? Let's do a show of hand vote.
Okay. ETH. Okay? ETH.
Oh, I think the ETHs have it.
Okay.
I think so. Cool. So, let's see, what's the next
I have no
slide?
idea what's next.
I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, it's me.
Oh, do you want me to introduce you?
Oh, yes, please. No, we have already done that.
Okay, but I don't know, like, you're like a sponsor or something?
It's true. We are. The Bounties Network is a sponsor and a supporter of ETH Global building that ecosystem and getting newer and newer people in so that we can be a lot more inclusive.
Thank you so much. Welcome,
you.
Simone, and her talk about the Bounties Network.
Thank you so much. Now, I will try to be as quick as possible so that you don't miss Boris too much. I mean, it's not possible. You're here in perpetual spirit. So what I want to talk about is what we've been doing at the Bounties Network in terms of impact, but really focusing on what this technology can do in real life. So the whole Impact IRL is very much about what we can do to empower people and effect change. Because at the end of the day, I think most of us are here and are part of this ecosystem because we want to improve the current state of affairs. We want to improve. Is that important? Do you want to take it? No. So because we very much want to make things better and to find solutions to some problems that have persisted and are ongoing. So some of the stats that we have in terms of social impact, and we've got UNICEF France in the house today as well, in the crowd, so they will be able to attest to a lot of these things. We have some pretty dire stats in terms of access to information, access to technology, and also the access to resources or means of work or a global pool of work. So they're pretty bad. We're still at 40% unbanked. We're still at 80% of people in the world are still working at under $10 a day. And very relevant to our ecosystem, only 36% in the world have access to smartphones. So a lot of the things that we are building and a lot of the kind of tools that we are building in the blockchain ecosystem do kind of maybe need laptops and smartphones. So one of the things to be very aware of when we do create these solutions is to be as mindful as possible of whatever problems you are trying to solve and make sure that we understand that that access isn't necessarily everywhere. And so the opportunity for social impact with blockchain are a few. And I've chosen the main three. So the broadening of the access to information, resource, and work. This is something that is incredibly important as we evolve what we are building and what we are doing so that it reaches the most amount of people. Again, what we want is to really give that access to, let's say, non-traditional geographies and non-traditional centers of social and economical abundance, right? We want everybody to have access to those three things: information, resource, and work. And then mobilize people from the underserved communities, right? Allow them, or rather lower that threshold of access to these things. And I'm not just talking about, developing countries. I'm very much talking about communities even within the States or Western Europe or Australia that do not have the same level of access as pools of or pockets of population in those regions. And then creating alternatives, this is something that at the end of the day, we're going to see more and more as traditional jobs evolve, as full-time work potentially evolves, as some, jobs that have been around for ages are transitioning or even disappearing. And so these are all things that we need to take into account if we are going to build with actual impact. So then blockchain for social impact, again, how we have the solutions for that are transparent funding. This is something that's been a problem for the charity system for a very long time. We have this complete opaque kind of process between a centralized entity like a charity asking individuals for money for €5, 10 euros, whatever, for X, Y, Z cause, but you don't actually have any visibility on what happens to that money. You have to trust and blindly trust that they're going to do whatever it is that they say they're going to do with the money. Whereas if you have the if you involve blockchain into it, you have that transparency and are able to track all of these transactions and make sure it goes where it needs to go. New means of income, again, potentially it can open up new alternatives or facilitate the access to a global pool of work for pockets of population and individuals and communities that wouldn't necessarily have that access. And then last thing, change, for instance, I put in here just as an example, you could potentially have an incentive system that essentially rewards, let's say, companies for sustainable and long-term dedication or commitment to an environmental cause or to helping on environmental causes. And then just so everybody understands what, because again, we have that a lot of people who are new to the ecosystem, a bounty essentially is definitely not the pirate stuff, right? It is not a bounty on somebody's head. It is a reward offered by either an individual or an organization for the completion of a certain task. Because we operate on Ethereum or in blockchain, it will be a crypto reward, right? So it's a very, very simple model. In the ecosystem, we normally use bounties for bugs and code and things like that, but actually there's a lot of different ways we can use them. And one of those ways is for social impact. So what we did, and because again, I'm really into very practical uses of it, we created this bounties for the oceans. Now, what the idea with this was simply to try and see whether re-engineering social impact based on bounties or on a blockchain solution would work. And so what we did was, instead of a organization asking you for money, we kind of went, okay, what we're gonna do is flip that and say, if you submit verifiable proof of a cleanup, whether it's on a beach, whether it's in a park, whether it's on a street, and you can prove that you have done that, we would reward you with 10 DAI, which DAI is a stable coin. It's an ERC20 token, and its value is pegged to the value of $1. So for instance, 10 DAI.
A US dollar.
A US dollar. Very cool.
Canadian dollars also exist.
They do, but.
New Zealand dollars.
Sure.
Australian dollars.
Right. USD. So yeah, it will always be 10 USD. And so we thought, okay, let's launch this. We launched it in partnership with MakerDAO, who actually created the DAI, and thought, let's see what happens. And then what happened was a lot of people started doing these things, and a lot of people from a lot of different areas and regions and geographies. So we had a lot of people across the US, and we had a lot of people in Europe, and we had people from Tasmania doing them, and we had people from Romania, and we had people from Venezuela fulfilling these. And we kind of thought, oh, okay, there's definitely something to this, because for a lot of the people doing these bounties, they essentially, it was their very first interaction with a Web3 application or with a blockchain application. And it was also their first experience of earning crypto rather than buying it, which was, again, incredibly interesting. So what we decided to do was, let's do something bigger and let's see how that works. And so we created a pilot in Manila, because we're a little bit masochistic, and we thought, hey, that worked. Let's go to the Philippines. Let's go on a beach that's incredibly polluted. We probably won't have internet, but let's see what happens when we try to onboard people onto a blockchain or blockchain application. So we went to Manila, and we ran these 2 days of a cleanup, December 1st and December 2nd last year. We had 224 people turn up, and we tried to onboard them. But of course, when they got there, a lot of them did not have smartphones. Also, the connection was really bad. And also, the only wallet with a dApp browser that was available was a single one out of the maybe, how many do we have now? 4, 5?
Lots. They keep growing.
Lots. They keep growing. But only one was available. So we kind of had to experience that, because there is a lot of work to still be done But the idea is that we managed to onboard a lot of these people. And the key is that a lot of them are still using the platform and still fulfilling this bounty. So now I think, yeah. So what we also did was we filmed a lot of the experience. And I'm going to show you the trailer for what we did. The full documentary is coming out hopefully next week. And then we'll be able to share it with everyone. And it goes a little bit more in depth with regards to what we did. Let's see.
The trash issue really is impacting people's lives.
Garbage everywhere.
Pupunta dito ang tao para mangingisda. Pag-uwi, wala rin naman makuha dahil lahat ng basura napupunta sa dagat ang kalat.
What happens when a traditional job like fishing stops being sustainable? You need to create new means of income. You need to create alternatives.
Incentives are behavior changing. If you're able to channel that, you're going to be able to mobilize a lot of people.
Ang ginagawa namin is hindi para sa amin, hindi para sa next future or generation.
We saw that monetary incentives were a great way to get people on the ground, but now that they're here, they actually can look past those incentives and really feel the intrinsic motivation.
I did. This is Jacob from Everybody give him a bit.
Amazing, and I loved your hair.
Thank you. I mean, it's intensely, and oh no, now it's no longer working. It's frozen. Oh my God. Is this, you told me this wasn't your laptop, but it is your laptop, isn't it? You did. Okay, so yeah, the hair was very humid. So basically, what we discovered with everything that we did, and it was incredibly eye-opening because it made us realize just how much we could make a difference and how big a difference we could potentially make. So the guy who you saw there in the video, he told us his name was Joe, but it might not be that. He was essentially burning cables on that beach to extract the copper from the cables so then he could sell it. So we had a translator. This was on the first day that we looked at this beach. And we had a translator with us, and she helped us communicate with him. And he was basically saying, look, I'm a fisherman by trade. I'm from these local communities. And as you saw, the fishing is just not there anymore, right? Because there is so much trash, there is so much pollution that the fish stocks are just, you know, not even half of what they used to be, which means that they have to spend longer going further out and spending less time fishing and therefore making less money. And then, okay, what do you do in this situation? Could you establish a new sustainable way of plugging these communities into something that also benefits the ecosystem, but also moves and gives them an income? And then Ronald, who you said speaking about a new generation, was basically a partner that we found on the ground because he was part of these communities. And what he does is he turns the plastic that people clean up into these slabs that they use to pave highways in Manila. And so when we asked Ronald, will you ever run out of the need for plastic? He said, no, because that's my business. I do this now. And so you can potentially have this ongoing loop where they clean up the environment, there is also a new means of income. And what we also wanted to do was to make sure that we absolutely had the opportunity and gave them the opportunity to exchange the crypto into Filipino peso, because it was very important for us to make sure that they actually got money instead of, hey, here's some magic internet stuff that you cannot use. Bye. So we got a partner on the ground, Ron, who you saw there. They are called coins.ph, and they're very widespread in the Philippines, and they basically do a lot of cool stuff in terms of helping the unbanked and having this ability to exchange between crypto and fiat. And so these are just some stats of what we did in those 2 days. By the way, each day we had to stop cleaning at 9:30 in the morning because it got so intensely hot that we had no shade on that beach either. So in those collective 5 hours with 224 people, this is what we cleaned up. So from an environmental perspective, of course, 3.3 tons of trash isn't that much realistically, but it proves it can be done, and it proves it can be something that is sustainable. And so again, the main learnings that we had, and I'm hoping these are some of the things that will help you guys as you hack, as you move through this ecosystem, or as you advance whatever it is that you do in our ecosystem, is that education is by far the biggest piece. Like anything you make or talk about should be understandable, should be something that can be easily accessible. Then crypto wallets, again, as I mentioned earlier, that is something that we still have a lot of work to do. And then the internet, always keep in mind that a lot of people you speak to or you build for may not have access to the wonderful high-speed internet situations that we have. And then again, leveling out the playing field. If we manage to get these 3 things, it is potentially something that can really be a game changer for us, introducing a new way and a new, just redefining everything that we are doing now in terms of work, in terms of access, in terms of how communities and individuals extract value. And then again, these are some of the wonderful people that participated. Again, we have about 10 people from that day who are still fulfilling the bounty that is still up and doing it on a regular basis. And also, the bounty that we set up was, a lot of the funds were crowdsourced, so that a lot of people even contributed at $5, $10. A lot of projects put some money in. So that pot of the bounty is still there. And also, it is only ever going to go to the individual payouts for verifiable cleanups. There's no 20% that goes to admin, 50% that maybe goes to the executives and whatever. So just to wrap this up, this isn't my quote, it's Vitalik's. Change the incentives, change the world. I think, as we mentioned there, and we have these conversations all the time, are incentives the game changer? Not the main solution, but they can help, and they can be the entry point or the Kickstarter to something bigger and to something that can enable greater things. And one of the things that we, and again in the partnerships that we have, it is very much, they are very much based on this furthering of what we have that is very small right now, but can have huge, huge reverberations through what we're doing in the world. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is our partnership with UNICEF very much focuses on this positive impact that individuals and communities can have. And we'll chat a little bit later about what we're doing. But there's a lot of stuff that we are rewarding in terms of people hacking on social impact projects and doing positive actions within the ecosystem. So yes, there we go. That is me. Done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if there were any pressing questions that anybody has. I am here for the 2 days, so you can easily find me and ask them, but if there was any one pressing question.
This is the Bounties Network B, right?
That's right.
Okay. Any other questions?
That was incredibly pressing. It's true.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So the submissions.
Can you repeat the question?
Right. So the question was, how do we make sure that those cleanups are done when there isn't anybody there to verify them? Actually, the submissions that we ask for are photos of the human with the trash at a location with a filter for the location and the time. Very rustic. I know. And we will perfect that and we will make sure that it is a lot more sophisticated. But we also, the reason why we said it like that was to see how people would try to scam it, because we need to know how they scam it in order to know what we protect against. I'm happy to report that so far we had one guy who tried to submit a photo of a clean beach that he got from Google and say, I did it all. I did it all. Obviously, because it doesn't match the requirements, I'm not gonna accept it. Like, it doesn't match them, so I'm okay not to accept it.
Photographic proof of trash.
Right.
Or POT for short.
I mean, that could have a few implications. Proof of pot, it might be a little bit intense. But yes, so find me for any other questions. We can have further chats. Oh, so yeah, you can obviously find me at ETH Paris. I was also at ETH CC. And this is the paris.bounties.network. There's a few bounties up there. Like I said, UNICEF has got one up. Opera has some up. And also we'll be putting some up for feedback on the event. Let us know how it went and so on. And we will.
So this is for people in the room.
Yeah, for
to
everyone.
Earn magic internet money.
Right.
There.
Yes,
that address.
That is it.
Okay. Amazing.
And witness the whole magic of it all. What? Okay. Oh, cool. So we're gonna have our next speaker. Is he here by the stage? Yes. So we have from New Cipher, we've got McLean. McLean. Here we go. There you go. Thank you. Here is your clicker.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming out. I'm McLean, one of the co-founders of New Cipher. For those of you who don't know us, we are the data privacy layer for Ethereum. So we give you a way to basically build end-to-end encrypted applications, privacy-preserving dApps and protocols, hopefully fairly easily. Before I get to that, basically we have two core pieces of technology that we'd be happy to see you build on. The first is the New Cipher network. And that is a decentralized access control layer. So let's say you're building, I don't know, some sort of healthcare application and you want to store patient records on IPFS. We give you a way to have those be private and encrypted, but still shareable with a valid recipient, like a doctor or a hospital. You could use it to build data marketplaces, data exchanges, anything where you have sensitive data that you need to share across multiple users tends to be a good fit. We also have a fully homomorphic encryption library that's not part of the network, but that you can also use. You need a GPU for that. We use GPUs to accelerate it and get it pretty fast. A couple weeks ago at ETH Denver, someone built a pretty cool decentralized 23andMe type of thing with new FHE. We have $2,500 in total prizes. I'll actually correct this. This is going to be split across two prizes. So one prize is for the best or most novel use case of any New Cipher technology, and then the other prize is for the most impressive technical implementation. All the information you need. On our GitHub, we have a hackathon repo, which will get updated before things kick off tonight with all the latest and greatest materials and links to docs and repos and everything like that, including all the prize guidelines. Our documentation is just at docs.newcipher.com. The New Cipher network is in the New Cipher repo, the new FHE repo, and then Ryan, who's here, and I will be around pretty much the entire weekend. If you want to come to our table, grab us for help. If you can't find us, all of our entire team hangs out in our Discord. So that's probably the easiest, fastest way to get ask technical questions. If you have any issues getting things installed or getting up and running, your best bet is probably to pop in there. I think that's it from me. So thanks again, and look forward to talking to you all over the weekend.
How many people in the room have already signed on to the ETH Paris Discord? Lots. Great. So we'll have details on that up later as well. So that's all of the sponsors and mentors and everyone else will be in there as well. So that's one good central location. And then all of the sponsors will attempt to lure you into their Discord as well. But they're hanging out and have people dedicated and have links to all of their information in there.
We need to remind everybody again, no drinks and no food.
Have they snuck in?
They have snuck in. There is food and there is
Should I switch to
definite
German?
beverage. Oh no.
Kein Essen, kein Trinken. Okay?
That was intense. That was very good.
That's what German is for.
I mean, it is a very intense language. French for the good stuff, German for the, yeah. Cool. ETH Paris. Moving
ETH
swiftly
Paris.
on. ETH Paris.
Better.
Yeah. Also, my favorite thing ever, I think, in a conversation with a wonderful French human, when they asked me, "Are you from the Bounties Network?" They didn't say bounties; they said bounties. This is true, isn't it? It's a thing. Okay, so bounties.
How do you say bounties in French? What's the French word for bounties?
This is a very, very complex conversation.
Discord.
Yes. Oh my God.
Let's do a bounty
For
the
people to
best
discuss it.
explanation in French.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. That will also be on paris.bounties.network. Cool. Next up, scale. Woo!
Hello. So, hey, first off, big show of hands for the ETH Global team and all the volunteers making this event happen. So, thank you. All right. So, Scale does layer 2 scalability. We make it very easy for you. Thank you.
I forgot the
We make it very easy to set up a sidechain. So you can take your Solidity code and put it in a sidechain with just a couple clicks. So it runs fast, it runs secure, and it takes the complexity away and lowers cost, et cetera. So when I think when looking at layer 2 solutions, you need to think about a few things. One, they have to be easy to set up and manage. Two, they have to be highly performant. We're using layer 2 so we can get speed. We can run smart contracts. We can get optimum performance, right? That's why we're pulling it off the mainnet into a second layer. It has to be secure. It has to be cost effective, right? We want to save costs. We can't have all the gas fees we would have if we stayed on the mainnet. So that's something critical we think about. And also has to be compatible and interoperable. So when you're moving your smart contract into a layer 2 chain, you also want to be able to continue to use Truffle and Remix and et cetera, the whole Web3 stack. So last piece here, decentralization. So this is critical to us. We spend a lot of time and effort building a decentralized network for layer 2 scalability. There are use cases, I think, where authority and centralization is great for layer 2. There's many where it actually just won't fit. So we're trying to focus on decentralized use cases. All right. So we launched our DevNet. You can finally use Scale. We launched it at ETH Denver, had some really amazing hacking, saw some really cool stuff. We're also soft launching storage. So you can actually use a Scale chain to do storage for your dApp this weekend. So please check that out. All right, getting here towards the end here. We've got 6 bounties. We're going to be here all weekend helping. And let's have some fun building. We are looking for just really great use cases and great effort. We're not looking for necessarily use cases that have tens of thousands of transactions per second, or really fast finality is incredibly valuable at a hackathon. So our bounties have a pretty broad spec, and we're just looking for people who want to build awesome stuff. So if you are interested, please come talk to us. Check out our workshop tonight at 9. We're going to show you actually how to deploy a Scale chain and walk through the whole process and have some fun there. Christine and Stan with Scale will put that on. We'll also have a workshop tomorrow and show you some pretty cool stuff where we're going to build some digital cakes. So a little teaser for that. All right, hey, let's have a fun weekend. Pleasure to meet everybody. Bye.
Merci beaucoup. Oh, this is yours. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Well, mine is yours.
ETH Paris. Transition slide.
No, we agreed that it's ETH. Okay. Our final speech from the, oh, there he is. I was going to do the intro, but he's so ready. There we go.
All right.
Here
Thank you very
is
much.
your clicker.
Thank you. I'm from Binance Labs. How many of you heard of Binance Labs? Cool, great. So these are my teammates, Flora and Batu. We're very excited. Right? Great. I hope it's obvious who's Flora and who's Batu. But so we're very excited to be sponsoring ETH Paris this time. And I'm going to give a very short infomercial on what Binance Labs does. So we do three things. We start a fellowship program, which I'm going to talk about. We do incubation, and we, of course, do direct investments into projects. So the fellowship program we started this year is an initiative to support open source development of building blocks in the blockchain stack to help. The idea is to have a lot of open source building blocks so that entrepreneurs could cobble together a crypto service or business quickly and focus more of the time on product market fit and go-to-market stuff. So these are the stuff we're looking for, but we're generally very open-minded on what open source projects we support. The details, so we provide a very modest monthly stipend for 3 to 6 months. We provide tools, and then the value that Binance provides is really fostering a active community of contributors and users for your open source project, and we're admitting fellows on a rolling basis. And this is the website where you fill out a very short Google form, and we'll get in touch if you're interested. And next thing we're doing is an incubation program. Is really kind of like a Y Combinator style program to identify very early stage teams or projects, and we help them achieve product market fit. We actually the second season application just closed last week, and we're starting second season late March, and the third season will be sometime in Q3 2019. It's a 10-week program, and we end the whole program in a demo day we call Builders Day. To learn more, you go to this binancelabs.co website. One other thing I want to talk about is our bounty program we're sponsoring at ETH Paris, which is, how many of you heard of Trust Wallet? So Trust Wallet is now part of Binance. It's an open source ERC20 wallet as well, and now they support Bitcoin and other chains as well. So at ETH Denver a few weeks ago, they open source what they call Wallet Core, which is an SDK they can use to build wallets and wallet applications very quickly. So we're sponsoring a bounty to get you guys to build stuff on top of Wallet Core. Specifically, we're looking for layer 2 support, either Plasma or state channel support on top of Wallet Core, or anything you can think of. So any kind of good application you think of to integrate into Wallet Core would be great. That's it, I think, if you have any quick questions. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
Are you gonna go first?
You go first.
Okay. There are $35,000 in prizes. I don't actually know which kind of dollars.
Ooh, USD.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Canada, so it's confusing. So 0x will award 1,500 USD worth of ZRX to the best use of the ZRX platform, and 1,000 USD in ZRX to the runner-up.
Arweave will award 1,000 euros.
Wow.
Wow, yes. To the best use of the Arweave API.
All right. Binance Labs will award 2,500 USD in Binance tokens to the team that implements the best state channels or Plasma support for Trust Wallet Core library.
And then Binance Labs, as you heard.
I just literally did that one.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. You see, Jacob keeps messaging me and he goes, check your Telegram. I'm like, I'm in the middle of something. What is it? Okay.
So we should read. Let's read.
Do you want to read
our
it?
Telegram. Okay. Last minute prize edition.
Decentralized.
Says Jacob. Ave offers 25 ETH
Ooh.
for building on top of the Aave SDK. The prize will be split between the teams building the best solutions at the discretion of Aave. I'm like, so do you like Game of Thrones it and like knife other teams so they're better, or
I don't know.
no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Amazing. Okay.
Cool. Awesome. That was a very smooth.
We should do more like this. Just keep sending us messages. Yeah.
Maybe even you're doing great, guys. It's awesome. Chainlink will award 1,000. They have the $ and USD, so very clear. In link to the team with the most compelling and ready to run prototype using Chainlink.
DAOstack is offering 2,500 USD worth of ETH to the project with the most creative use of the holographic consensus protocol, the best app integration, or the best DAO tool built on the stack. People know what does DAO stand for? I feel like the people over here are good at speaking loudly. So this side won this time. Distributed, decentralized, autonomous organization. Okay.
Cool.
Those D words.
ENS will award $200 to be paid in ETH or DAI to each of the 5 best projects that incorporate ENS, which is Ethereum name service.
So can teams, one project, win more than one prize? Yeah. Ooh.
Exciting.
Okay.
This is exciting stuff. Is it you? It's you.
It's
Near.
me, yes.
Yeah.
Near Protocol will award a prize to the best 4 application that uses Near Protocol, AlphaNet, or leverage bridged DAI on the Near chain.
Awesome. And then Scale, you saw them earlier. They will award €500 for the best 5 dApps and €1,000 to the very best dApp deployed on Scale.
We're also available for reading your awards should you need them for voiceovers on YouTube or other audio channels.
Or record your voicemail message.
These are young people who don't use voicemail. The Web3 Foundation and Parity Technologies will award €2,000 to the best projects using Substrate and €1,000 to the runner-up team. So Substrate is a tool chain for building blockchains of your own.
Awesome. And NuCypher, again, you saw them earlier, will award $2,500 for the most interesting project built utilizing any NuCypher technology, including proxy re-encryption for managing permissions over encrypted data or new FHA.
I'm not sure how that's
I timed
pronounced.
this so well. Look,
Yeah.
you now do mine.
Tons of bounties available to claim at, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Yeah.
You had one job.
Paris.bounties.net.
Literally one job. No, I'm joking. Of course you have a million.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but that's so Paris.bounties.network. Oh yeah, okay. And then Ethereum Foundation will award bounties for scaling and privacy solutions based on zero knowledge proofs.
Just says bounties, plural. Please, come on down.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm working with Ethereum Foundation. This is a little last minute. Sorry for not having the proper slides and not having a link for this, but we posted the link just now in Twitter under ETH Paris. You will find it there. Ethereum Foundation has a budget of, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. Budget of over $6,000 for prizes for scaling on zero knowledge, because this is such a promising technology for scaling without sacrifice of security and decentralization. Please look on it. One of the great things about Ethereum is that you can just plug in, you take it, you have Solidity, you have all the best toolings, it's super easy to work. It's not like this yet with zero knowledge proofs, but it's also very interesting to be pioneers and to explore new frontiers. And this is why we want to encourage you to do this. We have links with tutorials, with great examples how it can be done. Please come talk to me after the ceremony. I'll be happy to help you, and also the team from Matter Labs and Ethereum Foundation will be happy to offer mentorship on this. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Alex.
And we'll make sure that link gets into Discord as well, right?
Yeah, Discord will be very useful.
Wait, does anyone else want to come up and announce a new bounty?
Anyone?
Okay, just checking.
Basically, all of those details that you've just that we've just kind of went through. There's a lot more detail at this URL. Yeah, you can check them all out. And then if you have any questions, go to Discord, ask them in there. It's very active. All of the volunteers and all of the
I don't think you
global
should
team
ask
are on
questions.
there.
You should mainly just heads down and build as quickly as possible.
Sure, but
Yes.
if you do,
I have a question, not about prizes, but about like technology.
right, then go there. Oh. Did you just do this via Telegram right now? No. Very skillful.
I believe
I'm
there are
impressed.
tons of bounties
There are.
at this URL.
There are.
Paris, about sponsored by Bounties Network.
That's right.
Okay.
But also there are, like I said earlier, there's a bounty for UNICEF. There's some opera bounties as well. And we'll be putting more up throughout the weekend. So keep that in mind and keep refreshing it. Okay, so this is kind of what's going to be happening. And these are the main things to keep in mind in terms of what the run of show will be. Workshops are starting right after this. Maybe with like a 5-minute break. Then we're also going to have some tech talks tomorrow. And then you have the sponsors and the mentors you can access mainly through Discord. So obviously they will be around here physically, but to coordinate any meeting point, any kind of conversation, get started, get to know each other, use the Discord. Free food and drinks. I mean, and it looks pretty good. I haven't had a chance to taste any of it, but it looks delicious.
I'm really excited that there's lots of mate because I spent a bunch of time in Berlin last summer. And
You're hooked, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so feeding Boris's addiction to Club Mate, so he's happy. And also, we're going to have an after party, obviously. But we just want to also mention this amazing venue that we're using. It's incredibly Instagrammable. There's a lot of neon, which is wonderful. There's a whole bunch of really cool art on the walls. And obviously, as we explore it throughout the weekend, I'm sure we will discover some very exciting.
so for those of you who aren't from here, so there's about 3,500 students who make this space their own. So they will be coming in and out and have access. So feel free to go anywhere that there isn't a locked door, basically.
Yeah, don't pick any locks. Do not pick any
Wait,
of the locks.
Is there anyone here from the Netherlands? Lock picker.
What?
It's a thing.
No.
It's a thing.
Boris, you can't say things like this. Come on.
It's like a props. It's like a good thing,
Is it
right?
a thing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
See? Yeah, it's it. So
Okay, cool.
please, no lock picking.
We'll know who it was,
yeah.
basically.
You can use the first floor and the computer lab. Also, no drinks, no food in that area, and no drinks, no food here in this theater area. But all the space is available, and feel free to move around as you need. Very fast internet if you plug in on the first floor. So especially if you decide to start syncing test nets or anything like that, probably best to plug into the Ethernet there.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so these are our sponsors.
You can tell that they're the big sponsors.
They are. Yeah. There is big writing. Scale.
New Cipher.
Forum.
No, I think there's that. Yeah.
It's next slide. There it is.
Quorum.
ADEX.
Binance.
Should we just do voices now? You go.
Aave.
Dowsat.
Chainlink.
Hiraku VC.
Near Protocol.
ENS.
0x.
Polkadot. Oh man, I wish I was wearing my Polkadot.
AR
I have
Weave.
a Polkadot. Anyway, Provable.
1KX.
Infura.
Purity. Just skip to the one.
Yeah, UNICEF.
Bounties Network.
What? Ledger.
Fluence.
Ethereum Foundation.
Aseth.
And 42, which is
this space
this
here.
wonderful space. This is the Discord, so make note of this, take photos.
Can we go back for a second?
Get in there.
Can we go
Sure.
back? We should have a round of applause for the sponsors.
Yes. You're so good, Boris. This is
No,
it. I get
you're
on a
so good.
No, stop.
Yeah.
I get on a roll, and I just must The end is high. Okay, so there
This
go.
this redirects to the Discord link that you can get into.
It's very important. Oh yes, these were all the rules that you totally skipped ahead, but it was very good. So now the rules for the hackathon, very, very important. You must have a maximum of 4 team members per team. Very important. Must be physically at the event,
So
i.e.
that doesn't mean that we're locking you in
Right.
here, so you can leave if you want, but the point is to spend your time here,
Yeah.
and you can't have a team member who's like elsewhere.
Right. So it's not kind of an online thing. The team has to be here. No PowerPoint. Again, the PowerPoint rule. I don't love PowerPoint anyway. It's very annoying. So you must show the demo. So when we get the teams to present, they must show the demo. Again, we love any errors. That should be a wonderful, natural
Exactly.
flow.
All code must be written here, so you're not reusing things. That doesn't mean that you're not like using open source libraries or anything else like that. But no, like, oh yeah, we wrote a bunch of code, open sourced it earlier, and then we're gonna build on top of it, sort of thing. You're doing projects that should be new and from scratch here. Disclosed. Meaning that put them somewhere that they're accessible online under an open source license. Apache, MIT, GPL, other things like that. I personally, the sponsors and organizers are not doing this. I'm recommending Apache because it includes patent protection. If anyone wants to talk about open source licenses, feel free to come see me and we can talk nerdy about legal licenses. Exciting.
Woo! I'm excited. Finalists, now these are the criteria that the finalists will be chosen on, based on. So technicality, originality, practicality, design, and wow factor.
Like, oh my God, you
Holy.
did ZK Snarks.
Right.
Like, yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Wow.
Who said that? That was amazing. Okay. Is this haunted? No. So more information, again, on the prizes, you find them there. So now the rules, this was the stuff that you said. So
It
the
seemed
rules,
like a good time to talk about it.
it was good, it was good. So these are basically what Boris said earlier. Oh, do not use the elevator.
We accidentally used it was actually really awesome, but don't use it.
Do not use it. It's the best experience you'll ever have in an elevator,
Yeah.
but do not use it. Do not, just don't touch it.
And I think I covered all the rest of this.
You
Again,
did.
there will be other students here, students from 42. Please be respectful of them. And, you know, this is their space and their home that they're using.
Cool. ETH Paris.
Part of the ETH Global Network.
That's true. What is the next slide? Is this it? That's it. Wow. We had so much fun. Look at how quickly the time flew. Oh, man. I wish we could do this forever. Okay,
No.
so next. No. Okay, so next we're going to have a quick break. Unless anybody has any questions on everything. Yes.
It's a small elevator, and we're a lot of people.
A hell of a lot of people.
And if it gets used a lot, then it will break, and everyone will be angry.
There are consequences to the fun that can be had in the elevator.
Yeah.
But, you know, we want to leave 42 with a working elevator, so that's why we're not using it. They just kindly asked us, so we're going to do that.
Anything
Cool.
else? Can I get a summary of the number of prizes that are available?
Yeah.
Okay, that will
Or
be
in-
announced
or in
tomorrow
Discord?
over email.
Discord.
Discord.
Or Discord. Yeah,
Discord.
let's go with that. Let's
Okay.
make that the... Okay. Okay, cool. So the truth will
Set you free?
Okay, so workshops after this. Go have a little break, have a little
drink. Don't bring the drinks back in.
refreshment. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hack
Have
on.
an awesome weekend. Merci.
Hi, excuse me. Okay, so the next thing that's going to happen here is team forming. So if you are looking for teammates If you need, if you're 3 and you want one more, or if you don't have a team at all, stick around. We'll start in a few minutes so you guys can get some air.
Do you love it? We're going to take it on the road. This is it. If Ethereum doesn't work for us, we're like, that's it. Yeah. I think we should.
Were you confused for 1 second? I was like, give me the mic.
No, I was like, oh shit, I forgot about the team formation. I was like, I forgot about the team formation, but then...
No problem. Very We're also available for bar mitzvahs, weddings, birthday parties. Yeah.